in this question, no logic is required. Just it is a question based on a fact, right? In question number 4, what is the function of tassels in corn cob? Actually, tassels are also the male flowers, male parts of the corn cob, but these are very elongated structures. So these are here to trap pollen grains, right? So due to the elongated nature, these are here to trap pollen grains, and it is also given in your textbook. Then question number 105. What is required in assertion and reason type of questions? First, you have to confirm that assertion and reasons are true or not. If you find both are true, then you need to connect assertion and reason with the help of because in your mind. Then if the statement looks good, looks logical, so it is the answer number 4. Otherwise, it is the answer number 1. So what is easy to find out whether it is 2 or 3? What is difficult to find out whether 1 is correct or 4 is correct? So here, late wood has fewer xylem elements with narrow vessels, right? Why? In the winters and in the autumn, in the later part of an year, we can find the activity of cambium is less due to presence of low temperature and low humidity. So when we connect, late wood has fewer xylem elements with narrow vessels because cambium is less active in winters. So you can write here autumn also. You can write here winters and autumn. So what is the answer? Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. So answer is number 4 here, right? The historic convention on biological diversity, the Earth Summit, was held in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Country is the Brazil in the year of 1992. Its follow-up was the World Summit. Just after 10 years, in 2002, World Summit was held and Earth Summit was held. According to this question, the answer is 1992. And what was the aim for Earth Summit? To conserve biodiversity. Here, then, what is the role of RNA polymerase 3? So when we talk about RNA polymerase 1, rRNAs, when we talk about RNA polymerase 2, hnRNA, and what is given here, tRNA, fibrous RNA, and snRNA, small nuclear RNA. So out of all ribosomal RNAs, only one is the exception, that is 5S rRNA, that is transcribed with the help of RNA polymerase 3. The correct answer is the one here. Clear? So again, we find question number 6, question number 7 based on facts only. Identify the pair of heterosporous pteridophytes among the following. Actually, this is also very simple question based on the facts they have given in the pteridophyta, Selaginella and Salvinia. In the second option, Celotum is homosporous. In the third option, Equisetum is the homosporous. In the fourth option, Lycopodium is the homosporous. In option 1, both members are heterosporous and belong to pteridophyta. Again, this is a statement type of question. Statement 1. The forces generated by transpiration can lift a xylem-sized column of water over 130 meters of height. So over 100 meters, over 130 meters, this is true, because the magnitude of transpirational pull is found to be around 30 atmospheric pressure, so which can pull the water column up to the height of 130 meters, 135, 140 meters. So it is the correct statement. Transpiration cools leaf surface sometimes by 10 to 15 degrees by evaporative cooling. So due to metabolism, cellular metabolism, a lot of heat is generated. This heat is used to convert water into vapors, and now the transpiration is the process in which the water vapors are released from aerial parts of the plant and provides cooling effect. Both statements are correct, and so which is the option? Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. Option number 4. The reaction center of PS1 has an absorption maximum. When we talk about reaction PS2, answer is always 680 nanometer. If they are asking reaction center of PS1, answer is 700 nanometer. So here the correct answer for PS2 is 680. Parted, which one is considered the most important cause driving extinction of a species? In your textbook, they have directly given the first one, and the first one they have given the habitat loss and fragmentation. So habitat loss and fragmentation is the correct one, right? Which of the following stages of meiosis involves division of centromere? Actually, when we talk about division of centromere, in mitosis, it is anaphase, correct? And you know, the meiosis second is like mitosis. So what is the answer here? Anaphase 2. So anaphase 2 as anaphase of mitosis, both are similar, right? Spraying of which of the following phytohormone on juvenile conifers helps in hastening the maturity period that lead to early seed development, early seed production. So early seed production in conifers, it is the result of gibberellin. So helps in hastening the maturity period means life cycle is shorter now. You can find seed early than expected. So here the answer is gibberellic acid. Here, identify the correct statements. A. Detrivores perform fragmentation. Yes, detrivores are the dead organic matter eating organisms. These are detrivores. In their body, the large particles of detritus are broken down into smaller ones, correct? Then humus is further degraded by some microorganisms, some microbes during mineralization. Actually, humus is almost degraded, almost decomposed organic matter, but still minerals like iron, these are released by some additional activity, microbial activity. That is also correct. A is correct, B is correct. C. Water soluble inorganic nutrients go down in the soil and get precipitated by a process called leaching. Yes, it is leaching, and the second name is percolation. Clear? This is also correct. The detritus food chain begins with living organisms. Actually, grazing food chain begins with producers. Here they are giving detritus food chain. It begins with detritus, and detritus is dead organic matter. So D is not correct. Then earthworms break down detritus into smaller particles by a process called catabolism. No, the process called fragmentation. So this is like statement 1, but here they have given catabolism. Catabolism is a type of metabolism, and metabolism is, what is the site of metabolism? Cells inside organisms. So this is incorrect here, catabolism. So answer A, B, C are correct. D and E incorrect. So we will go with option number 4. Which micronutrient is required for spreading of water? You know, this is very easy question. Mn plus plus and Cl minus. So out of these, which is given? Manganese, that is Mn plus plus. In order to confuse students, generally examiners give magnesium first, then manganese, and here the answer is manganese. This question has been asked, I think, 3 or 4 years back. Large, colorful, fragrant. Fragrant means very good smell is there, very brightly colored, generally good colors are there. Large means visible. Actually, you know, entomophily. Entomophily means pollination by insects, and insects are attracted by bright colors. During night, color should be white. Good fragrance is required to attract insects. So the answer is fourth one. Clear? Then, movement and accumulation of ions across the membranes against their concentration gradients. So what is important there? Against. If along with they are given, so along with means passive, against the concentration gradients means active. So answer is active transport only. Clear? The thickness of ozone in the column of air in the atmosphere is measured as Dobson units. Clear? So this is again a question from ecology, and this is information based question. Upon exposure to UV radiation, DNA stained with ethidium bromide will show. It is given in the first chapter of biotechnology, that is principles and process of biotechnology. The color we find for DNA after exposure to UV radiation, that is always bright orange color. So answer is number 3. Unequivocal proof that DNA is genetic material was first proposed by the experiment by Hershey and Chase. They used bacteriophages, mean viruses, in which DNA and proteins they have taken, right? So they have to select between protein and DNA, and they selected after their experiment that DNA is the genetic material. So the option is 120. That is one, sorry. In 121st, the tissue culture experiment, leaf mesophyll cells. Leaf mesophyll cells, these are these mesophyll cells are parenchyma cells. Parenchyma means permanent cells, right? And permanent cells are put in a culture medium to form callus, and callus is dividing cells, right? So what is the process? What is the phenomena? We can call it, these are differentiated cells. Dividing cells are undifferentiated cells. So permanent cells are losing their differentiation, and what is the correct here? De-differentiation, losing of differentiation. ATP is used as 2 steps in glycolysis. That is very correct. Reason they have given: first, ATP is used in converting glucose into glucose 6-phosphate. It is correct. And the second, ATP is used in conversion of fructose 6-phosphate into fructose 1,6-diphosphate, right? When there is a need of phosphate, so the reason is absolutely correct. That is the correct reasoning for A also, and the answer is both A and R true, and R is the correct explanation of A. In 123rd, the process of appearance of recombination nodules. Recombination nodules are present, are a part of that synaptonymal complex that appear during zygote. So crossing over occurs at packaging. Just before that, Zygotine is there. During zygotine, recombination nodules appear. So answer is zygotine, and these are the site of crossing over in packaging. So here the answer is zygotine. Gross primary productivity minus rate of respiration equal to net primary productivity. So here rate of respiration is the respiratory loss. Phenomena of pleiotropism. What is pleiotropism? One gene performs many functions. So answer is the 2 here. It is very easy, one line based question. During the purification process of recombinant DNA technology, addition of chilled ethanol, this is the last step. DNA gets precipitated, and the answer is 1, that is DNA. In angiosperm, the haploid, diploid, triploid. Haploid means, and they are structures of a fertilized embryo. So here 2n is the zygote, 3n is the PN, and N synergate. So answer is the second one. Axial presentation is observed in actually China rose, axial presentation, beans marginal presentation, lupin marginal presentation, tomato axial, dianthus free central presentation, China rose axial presentation, petunia axial presentation, and lemon is axial presentation. You have to find the correct option having all the 3 axial presentations. Which hormone promotes internode elongation? Suppose you are being asked the half question, answer is gibberellin, 4th option. But here they are calling in deep water rice plant. So in your textbook it is given in ethylene. So correct answer is ethylene here. Just complete the reading of the question properly. The first stage of gametophyte in the life cycle of moss is in protonema. Before leafy gametophyte, the gametophytic stage appears, that is protonema. This is true. In the reason that a statement is protonema develops directly from spore dispersal, spore produced in capsule. So they are saying capsule, they are saying spore, every correct thing they are saying. But they are not telling about the ploidy levels in the R. So R is correct, A is correct, but without knowing the ploidy levels, if they are not talking about the ploidy levels of capsule, ploidy levels of spores, so it is correct, but it is not the correct reasoning of A. So you can see the first option here. Now, frequency of recombination between gene pairs on the same chromosome as a measure of the distance between genes to map their positions on chromosomes was used for the first time. Actually, all the experiments related with recombination between gene pairs of same chromosome, different chromosomes on Drosophila, these were done by T.H. Morgan. His student, Alfred Sturdivant, used the recombination frequency between gene pairs on the same chromosomes to map genes. So he has taken this for gene mapping, and the answer goes to 2. Family Fabaceae differs from Solanaceae and Liliaceae with respect to the stamens. Pick out the characteristics specific to family Fabaceae but not found in Solanaceae or Liliaceae. Okay. Polydelphous stamens are not found in Fabaceae. We can't take this option. Second, monodelphous we can't take. Epiphyllous in Liliaceae we can't take. Monodelphous second option, that is Malvaceae, China rose, we can't take. We have to take diadelphous stamens are found in Fabaceae. So with respect to other 3 options, the correct option is 4th one. This is specific to Fabaceae. How many ATP and NADP H2 are required for the synthesis of one molecule of glucose during Calvin cycle? For 1 CO2, 3 ATPs plus 2 NADPH. For 1 glucose, 6 CO2 are required. So 6 into 3, 18 ATP plus 12 NADPS, and the answer is the first option, express sequence tags. You can find this line, this term in the Human Genome Project, and the chapter is molecular basis of inheritance, right? These are the DNA segments which can form RNA. So they have given in your textbook clearly. So answer is the fourth one here. Statement 1. Endarch and exarch are the terms often used to describe the position of no. That is wrong. Not secondary xylem, protoxylem. So it is incorrect. And exarch condition is most common feature of root system. That is correct statement. So 1 is incorrect. You can go to answer number 3. In the question number 136, which of the following combinations is required for chemiosmosis? What is required? The membrane, proton pump, proton gradient, it's ATP synthase. So when you go to option number 1, ATP synthase is not there. When you go to option number 2, electron gradient is not required. Option number 3, electron gradient is not required. Option number 4, membrane, proton pump, proton gradient, and ATP synthase all are given. That's why the answer is the fourth one. How many different proteins does the ribosome consist of? If you go to ATS type of ribosomes, so total 80 types of proteins you can find there. A flower is defined as modified shoot, wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem. That is correct. Internode of the shoot gets condensed to produce different floral appendages laterally at successive nodes instead of the leaves. Actually, it is also correct. That's why thalamus is called as the condensed shoot. So they are defining in the second. So a flower is defined as modified shoot, wherein the shoot apical meristem changes to floral meristem because internode of shoot gets condensed to produce different floral appendages literally at successive nodes. So this is the correct reason of the assertion A. That's why we can go with the 4. List 1, M phase. M phase is mitotic phase, that is equational division, A4. G2 phase. G2 phase means proteins are synthesized in G1 and G2 phase. But for here G1 phase, this is called the interval between stage of mitosis, M phase, and initiation of DNA replication, that is S. So between mitosis and S phase, there is G1 phase. So G1, D means 3. D means 3, right? Quiescent means inactive. C means 2. So the clear answer is the second. Just you need to specify 2 headings only. The main step in the formation of recombinant DNA are given below. Arrange these steps in a correct sequence. First is always the isolation of desired DNA fragment. That is always first. So what is first? This one, C. So now answer can be either 1 or 2. The second step is the cutting of DNA at a specific location by restriction enzyme or insertion of recombinant DNA. So without cutting, insertion is not possible. So second is B. The answer is second. This is the trick you have to use in solving these type of questions. Statement 1. The Gauss competitive exclusion principle states that 2 closely related species competing for the same resources cannot coexist indefinitely and competitively inferior one will be eliminated eventually. So this is the correct definition of Gauss exclusion principle. Competitive exclusion principle. So it is correct, true. Now come to the statement 2. In general, carnivores are more adversely affected by competition. So that statement is not correct, because in general you have to remember the rule: either producers or the herbivores are more adversely affected. Clear? So second is false. So answer is the second one. Cohesion, attraction between same type of molecule. So second is there. Addiction, attraction toward polar surface, more attraction in liquid phase, water loss is okay. Fourth one, surface tension, more attraction in liquid phase, that is the first one. Now you can combine A2, B and come to C, C1, B4. So answer is, and gradation is the water loss, that is D3. So answer should be 4 here. Here, so only the deciding point is surface tension, more attraction in liquid phase. It is the hint. Malonate inhibits the growth of pathogenic bacteria by inhibiting the activity of, actually malonate is a competitive inhibitor of succinate. So this is the fact behind that question. And succinate, the suitable enzyme is succinic dehydrogenase. So here the answer comes succinic dehydrogenase. Now oxidative decarboxylation glycolysis is also called as EMP pathway. Oxidative phosphorylation is electron transport, and with the help of electron transport of mitochondria, ATP synthesis is known as oxidative phosphorylation. C3, glycolysis is also called as EMP pathway 4 and 3. Okay, we had an oxidative decarboxylation occurs with the help of pyruvate dehydrogenase. Just think about link reaction. And tricarboxylic acid cycle is called Krebs cycle, and one name is citrate synthesis is the first enzyme that is here. So what is that? D1 and C3, answer is third one. Which of the following statements are correct about Klinefelter syndrome? This disorder was first described by Down syndrome. This is Down syndrome, that is false. Such an individual has overall masculine development, however, the feminine. Actually, the cause behind Klinefelter syndrome is the trisomy of the sex chromosomes XXY. So due to XXY combination, the B is 2. The affected individuals are short statured, you can't say physical, psychomotor, and mental. Oh, no, this is line of Down syndrome. Such individuals are sterile, that is correct. So B and E, both are correct. So our answer is the second. Which of the following statements is not correct? Algal blooms caused by excess of organic matter in water improve. So this type of question always students like. So algal blooms cannot improve water quality. So the answer is 1. So not correct. They are asking. Given below the two statements, one is labeled as reason, second is reason. In gymnosperms, the pollen grains are released from the microsporangium and carried by air currents. Yes, only the wind pollination is there, that is true. Air currents carry the pollen grains to the mouth of archegonia, where the male gametes are discharged and pollen tube is not formed. Oh, that is wrong. False. Answer is pollen tube is always formed in angiosperms and gymnosperms. So answer is A is correct, true. R is false. Answer is 2. The metal is iron. Activator of catalase. Zinc. Zinc synthesis of oxygen, it is required. 1. Boron. Boron is for cell elongation and differentiation. Number 4. Molybdenum, component of nitrate. So answer is 3, 1, 4, 2. 3, 1, 4 and 2. Answer is the second. Mutualism, plus, both mutual benefit. 4th. And commensalism, one is unaffected, second is affected positively. 1. Amensalism, the opposite of commensalism, that is 2. And what is that? 3rd. So 4, 1, 2, 3. 4, 1, 2, 3 is the first option. Identify the correct statements. Lenticels are lens-shaped opening permitting the exchange of gases. That is very true. Bark formed early stage. That is hard is not correct. In early stage, it is called soft bark. Bark is a technical term that refers to the all tissues exterior to vascular ganglion. No, it is non-technical term. Bark refers to the periderm and secondary phloem. That is correct. True. So answer is A and D only. This is how I am going to end this session. Thank you so much for attending this session.